That's what time it is. Birmingham GT RCs. We back.
She good and she know she is. She's good and she know she is. I'm searching for my bitch. She just wanna roll with me. Wanna roll with her. I feel good, I ain't going down. She ain't more pretend than do me. A house on the hill and for children, that is the key. Might do the real. Yeah, comments and overseas. That bitch by my side, we're doing me. Doing us. Private party, so troublesome, but we're too in touch. When she's talking, I know it's nothing off back rough. Smooth road and then stuff. I ain't relying on nobody. You should learn from your mistakes, but just when you eat and sharing whole food, you people still want piece of your cake with you.
Fuck a little slice, I'm going for that whole pie. I'm on the road, so I can't even slip and slide. If I slip and slide, I will pay the price. Could be jail time, couple of years in them cages, couple of years not making no wages, seeing no faces. Could I really take it? Can you handle prison life? Can you do that prison time? If not, better stay correct. Don't lose your head. Yeah, my niggas screaming fuck the feds, cause they're locked in them cages. I haven't seen them in ages. Heart's fully raging. Gotta keep my head down, get cake in, but some niggas hating. Couple niggas snakes, the rest are real fakes. Fit his cool car, I don't even watch that. I'm too busy trying to route my next path. I'm too busy trying to make up my next step.
I ain't relying on nobody. You should learn from your mistakes, would ya? When you eat and sharing whole food, you people still want piece of your cake, would ya?
Yeah, so a little push. Got no dry train in there. That's just on the wheel bearings. Everything's moving nice, moving smooth. Yeah. Show you what's underneath. Nice and clean, nice and tidy. Got a little skid plate. That's the only thing that's really probably going to bottom out, maybe the tip on the real heavy braking or if I hit a bump, but otherwise, yeah. These rear skid plates should never touch the ground, but they're there anyway. I may even take them off because these things never going to bottom out. It's got stoppers in there, so it's never going to hit the ground, but you could hit bumps, but it's probably sometimes better for a bump or something to scrape across the bottom than hit that lip. So I made to actually take them off. Whereas the front's not too much of a lip, but it definitely is needed rather than scraping the carbon fibre. Yeah, not too, I don't know. Maybe I'll leave them, maybe I don't. We'll see. These looks nice there though, but maybe it'll help with the airflow if they're not there and just let the air flow straight onto the car nicer. So I think I might just take them off. But the front one's definitely needed. That one's definitely needed. Just waiting for the dry train to come. Yeah. And no, not a sponsored build, guys. It's hard-earned money on this build. And I'm sure I can tell you I spent a lot, man. What we in now? January the 13th today, something like that it is. Started this build about a week before Christmas. Just, you know, first stuff started coming, and so I've been working on this the last few weeks. And then now I've stripped down my other Limitless, which got me 140. I've got new motor mounts and drivetrain coming, so I'm just going to get all that fitted in. I've got new carbon fibre wings and splitters for it, so I'm going to get all that put together. That's what I'm working on now. Now this one's done, ready to go. Just got to decide what to do with the body. What colour to dip it. I want to get it dipped. I don't want to spray. I can't spray bodies. I've tried so many times and the paint just cracks off and all kinds, so I'm not even going to attempt to ruin the body. I have got another body coming from Delta, so yeah, I spent a bit of money to get that one. So this one I got off eBay. It came in a few days, man, less than a week. So, you know, there was a couple online. I just thought I'd grab that as a little test body, but it really looks nice, you know. And as you can see, I've got all my body mounts at the sides. When the body does sit, if we get that, let's get that mounted in there. And I left a bit on the rear so the body pushes down on the splitter, so it helps with everything, you know, with the, so if I push down on the spoiler, the whole car's moving. It's really solid. And then when I put the body mounts on the sides, you can see this actual little step sits on the carbon fibre chassis. That's pushing on the chassis as well. So the whole body's sitting on the chassis, pushing down. It's held in by the body mounts. And then on the front one, I've slightly put the hole slightly lower on the body so that it slightly pulls the body up a bit, which just gives me more room. It just keeps this archway more firmer, because this centre line of the car here, once you trim out this archway, is the weakest point. I don't know if you'll see, it's hard to see the flex, but you can see the car flexing along this line here. It's flexing, and obviously under the pressure of the wind hitting that, you don't want it pushing down onto your wheels and all the rest of it. So putting the body post down a little lower and pushing this body up reduces the flex. Having the body down here clipped in it, the whole body just feels more firm. When you press down on it, you can see the whole car pushing down to the ground. I've just got to get one more body mount the same, but they're out of stock. I want to put one more in the front when I get the splitter that comes with it, to have one little body mount. It's not going to have a pin in it, it's just going to be enough to, at an angle, to, when you clip the body in first from the front, it will hold it down, so the body's not going to flap around, and also holding it down firm, again, firms up the wheel arch more, so that there's less movement in the body and less likely for the body to press against the wheel. Apart from that, yeah, I'm liking it. I've cut the front down as low as I can get that front low profile. I mean, you know, it's quite low down to the ground, so the air should really get over there real nice. And obviously, you can't do hard turning and braking and stuff because the body will rub with it being this low. I mean, that's touching the ground now, and there's still clearance. See, what's rubbing is here. I mean, eventually this is going to wear a bit. I'm going to sand it, fine tune it so it doesn't rub, but that's all you're hearing. That's fully pressed down. I can't press any lower. And you can just see that bit scraping the floor, just see the rear's off the ground. But when the rear's squatted, it's the same, just touching the floor of the body. But I do want a bit of that ground effect underneath the car to suck itself to the ground. And the steering, I'll do my dual rates and stuff so that the wheels don't turn too much. I mean, with it normal driving, you can see it's not going to actually rub on the wheel arches. There's clearance, but under braking, you will get a rub. You will rub the wheel. But with slight dual rate for speed running, especially on the runway, I'm going to have really low steering anyway, like I normally do, so I'm not going to be sticking the wheels right out the arches, and I'm not going to be braking hard and turning, and I'm going to slow down in a straight line so the car slows down, then I'm just going to turn around like you normally do, so it should be okay. If there is any rubbing, it's going to be at slow speeds, which, you know, it shouldn't do any damage. Same in the rear. I left some of the body on the side just to help the air flow real nice past the wheels. Now this bit is a bit soft, but just about touches the wheel, but you have to press so hard to really get that body, and the wind's not going to flex the body in that much. When it's all bolted down, it barely moves. So yeah, it's ready to go really. Just got to wait for the drivetrain to come. You know, I ordered the basic parts I needed, ordered a brand new Limitless, You know, as you can see the leftovers. There's a few other parts left over. I took a few parts off here and there, and so like the arms and stuff like that I reused from the brand new Limitless. I had to order the infraction body mounts and foam and stuff. Apart from that, everything else is just Limitless. This front splitter is for my other Limitless, the one over there, but I just stuck it on for now to get an idea of what's going on, so I could cut the body and stuff. But I'm gonna have a splitter that's obviously wider. Like I think Scorch actually sold them as well. They're out of stock, so we'll just wait till that comes in. My aerials are running for Taba, one of those plain receivers. You can see I've got 2 aerials coming out the box, and I've got one hole here and one hole slightly further away. So when the 2 aerials come out the holes, the 2 wires that can't make contact with each other, you know, under blowing around or anything, they're not going to make contact. You know, it's just further enough, just far enough apart. You know, even if I forgot to take them out, look, they're sticking up there in the body. So, you know, they just about touch the roof. They just stick out nicely through these little holes here. I mean, I could raise the receiver up in the box a bit more or something like that, but it's not an issue. And I'm going to make some little side pieces here just to go on the ends of these. And that'll be the last little thing I do. I'm waiting for upgraded body mounts. I've got the front bit upgrade coming, the rear body mount upgrades coming. What else am I waiting for? I got a motor coming for this. I got a new motor coming for this as well. This motor is actually for this car, you know. So for the Limitless I'm doing, this is a 1/5 scale motor, 1/5 scale mount, but I'm actually going back to a 1/8 scale because I've got a nice motor coming. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping it'll fit. If it don't fit, then we'll run a 5th scale motor in there, and I've got a different motor, bigger one than this, which will fill that space nicely. So either we'll see which one works. But when I get the other body, I'm gonna actually run the normal Limitless wings on it and stuff, you know, like a Raz Schiffman wing or something like that, because it's gonna be a proper GT like 1 style body. You'll see it when it comes. So I'll be running that. And where's my body clips? I'll clip it all up and let you have a quick look with all the body clips on, minus the front one. Alright, just come in the living room and chill, do this last bit of the video and relax. Yeah, so back to the body mounts and the body being on. Lot better. When I first was pressing this, it was flexing so much. I mean, you can hear the body sound solid. It makes the plastic, it's just rigid. So when you press down on the spoiler, the whole body, everything from the mounts, the way it's sitting here, sitting on the mounts is exactly the same sitting on the rear. So, you know, it presses together. It's not pressing more on the top than it is the back. So you can see the back's not buckling because it's also, you know, working together. So you just get a lot more stable pressure in the rear, and the body's not wobbling. If I wobble the body, you can see it's like the whole car's wobbling. See if I wobble the spoiler. So yeah, it's nice. It works. Profile slick. I like it. Rides good. And the body mounts, I put little heat shrink around the curvy side and just a little cable tie. So it just makes it easier to take the body off. I know you're probably thinking overkill with all the body clips and something's wrong. You got to get the body off, but I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, this is one hand. You got to pop the body off. Look. Arrma clips. Is there a clip on it now? Yep, and this off. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you was rushing to get the body off, you would get it off in, I mean, you could do it in 10 seconds or less. Do you know what I mean? And that was just me with one hand getting that off. Can you imagine 2 hands? I would have flicked off the 2 clips, pulled the 2 clips front and rear. In 5 seconds, I would have had the body off. Do you know what I mean? And plus the 10 seconds it probably takes to run to your car. Or 5 seconds, how fast you run. But you know what I mean, guys? It's, you know, it's not an issue for me to pop the body quick, and, you know, I thought about everything, how it's all going to work. And so, you know, you got to put the body clips in, going that way, because, I mean, the wind's going to blow it in, so it's not going to blow it out. But taking them out, you want to just slide them all the same way then to take it out. And, you know, you do like to do in the pit crews of Formula 1, man. Practice makes perfect, guys. Practice how you get your body off. Think about that before you even put it together and stuff, how you're going to get the body off if you need to get it off quick. I see a lot of people tearing their bodies open, bending them open. I'm like, you know what I mean? It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why wreck the body as well if you could have just spent another second taking the other clips off? So just make it easy for yourself. But yeah, keeping things tidy, clean. Once the rear brace comes as well, that's another upgrade. They've got the flat brace coming, so I'll be able to do things a little bit different with the wiring there. Just a few little things coming still for this build, and then we'll eventually get it out for some test running and then some proper running. Until then, stay tuned. Let me just get you a little montage, you could say, before we go. Put the body back on for you. I'm not going to do it again on video, one hand. I mean, can be done, but yeah, can't be asked. Obviously, I've got the two aerials there I can stick out, but just putting the body on, I always, well, the way mine's mounted, you can see I always like to make sure the holes never quite perfectly line up. I like the body to always slightly stretch so you can see the holes don't line up, so that's how you get that firm, nice body where it doesn't rattle. So if I pull back now, see that tiny little pull back, but the body now just on them two alone, no body clips, just that alone, the body's, you know, so you really gotta make your holes and everything to do the job right, guys. Do it right. And yeah, you know, you just come up with your own ideas and make it work. So let's just get the body together, clips in, and then one last look.
She's a pretty little thing and she's bad, but she's good and she knows she is. No, she is. She just wanna roll with a nigga on the street cause she knows really. She knows really. She just wanna roll with me. I just wanna roll with her. Come play with me. Pretty little thing and she's bad for me. Bad for who, bad for her and me. I approach her in the gym from the strip. She be moving like an industry chick. Body good, body thick, real slick, and I'm feeling like I'm into her wits. She good and she know she is. She's good and she know she is. I've been searching for my bitch. She just wanna roll with me. When I roll with her, I feel good. I ain't going back. She won't pretend to do me. A house on a hill and 3 children, that is the key. Might do the real. Yeah, comments head overseas. Bad bitch by my side, we're doing me. Doing us. Private party so troublesome, but we're too in touch. When she's talking, I know it's love, you know, back rub. Smith's Road and dinner's cut. If you're with me, then I got, you know, it's love. I love the way she moves, I'm right in person. Baby girl, you have to work on this, just know that for certain. She loves the way I move and keep it real in person. No flex in my cabin, there is mama bear and vermin. She's a pretty little thing and she's bad, but she's good and she knows she is.
Almost done. Almost done. Few little touches left to do. I'm just waiting for the splitter for this. I want a straight round curve splitter, not the Limitless one. I want to swap that out. This one's actually for this. For now, I've just got a brand new plastic one, which is in a brand new front end because I scraped all mine. But I will take this off and put this one on. But yeah, guys, just giving you a quick look at my Limitless GT and my open wheel Limitless. So this is currently done 141 mile an hour. So hopefully I was getting a lot of rubbing on the dry shafts and I just felt like the drivetrain was letting me down. So I've now put a 1/5 scale motor mount. I've got a 1/8 as well I can try, but I've got a 1/5 scale motor that fits in here. Carbon brace, as you can see, spools, scorch RC dog bones and stuff, drive shafts, stock dog bones, but the scorch RC dry shafts, few little bits and bobs, just a little carbon bits in there. Bearings are all done, diffs are all done, greased up, everything's ready to go. I shimmed the diffs front and rear. I'll put one shim in each just to push the mesh a bit tighter. Felt like it probably was a bit too loose, so I just tightened the mesh up and I readjusted the ride height. So there's literally, I've got 2 different styles of ride height. That one with hardly any play, and that one with bit more play, as you can see on the GT build. So, you know, it depends really how I'm going to run this, you know, which car I prefer. And I'm feeling more like I'm liking this front end setup, you know, so I may do what same thing I've done with the front springs, and I'll do the same with these, exactly the same. but I think I'm liking this firmer ride more. But then I do like my car to have a bit of a give. The rears are similar, bit softer on that one. The rear's a bit higher on this one, but it is a firmer car. But you know, we'll see what happens. I'm probably gonna raise the ride height on this, lower it a touch more, and then do the same thing, just firm it up like this one. Rear diff's not in. Oh no, it is. Did I finish it? Yeah, I did. So all the gears in, drivetrain's in, just no motor, but nice and smooth. And it's this one that the rear diff. I'm waiting for some my rear diff for this one. Front diff's in, drivetrain's in, spools in, just motor's not connected. But again, nice and quiet, no notchy clanging noises. I do want to do my bones. That's the only thing I will do. I forgot to do it, put some rubber or foam or something, you know, in the cup, stop that rattling noise. I did do this one. So you can see it in there. So, it, you know, there's still room for it to flex, but obviously it's not rattling. So you don't get the rattling noise, so it quietens your drivetrain down. Just got to do the same for this. Get some stuff in there, quieten it down. Soundproofing. Stop it sounding so loud with all the gears clanging, you know. Can sound loud, especially when you've got like a 5th scale motor that's got a lot of resistance. It makes it even more louder. You know, if you've got a high kV motor, not so much resistance, it rolls quite smooth. Your drivetrain's it's not so bad, but with these motors with high resistance, you know, yeah, it's quite noisy. But, you know, and yeah, I knocked off the rear. I did at Rossa last time, so I just brought a new carbon fibre set there. So I brought it as a standard because I really want to keep this standard as looking as possible. Obviously changed the brace to a carbon fibre brace, still running the same ESC. I'm just about to take off these as well. I'm not going to run any cat packs, so I'm going to get rid of these and just cover the wires over. I'm going to change the bullets on these to the same as these, so I'm running all the same battery connections. So yeah, that'll be my next job with this, just changing all the wiring, changing all my connectors, and doing my charger connectors. And I got some other cars, batteries and so forth, my Typhon. Just change some connectors all to the same connector so I can run all the batteries in all the cars. But yeah, we'll have these out soon. We'll have them out soon. As you can see, I've gone with the double battery configuration at the back, stock position as what it came. The ESC was sideways, but I've moved it that way. Just, you know, worked around a bit, and obviously there's plenty of space for the motor. And obviously with this one, I've gone with the 2 batteries on one side. ESC motor, receiver, gyro, all that on the other. And as you can see, loads of space in there. The flat carbon braces, everything. The bigger bearings you get in the hubs and all kinds. I'm hoping for the fronts similar, you know, with bigger bearings would be nice. But yeah, the carbon shock towers, upgrades, the hinge pins, all these little bits. Just a lot went into this one. I do want this metal one for this too, because the plastic in here, even though it was a brand new piece, when I started screwing the screws in for the splitter, it's just spinning, and I'm like, well, what does it bite into? Like, how have they made it that way? It doesn't even, you don't even feel it bite tight, you know, like it just tightens up and just spins. So it's, you know, yeah, it's not a good design, but this makes all the difference. When you bolt this to the car and then you bolt the chassis on, I mean, look, it doesn't flex down to the ground, the whole car's moving. Whereas this, you know, it's like, this is really flexing, and my suspension's quite firm, so, you know, yeah, it's not the best, but we work with it. Wait for my carbon to come, I'll get myself another one of them braces. But let's not drag this on too much. Got a few bits and bobs to do, guys. Got to get with it, body's down here, got to get the side pieces made and all the rest of it, body's trimmed, everything's done. Just got to get this side bits made and get it sprayed. And I'm just going to put a slight more of a wedge in it, just to give the rear spoiler a bit more of a tilt. But apart from that, I'm good. Cars are good, everybody's good. Stay tuned. Man, my Bruce Lee got knocked off, man. My mirror fell off the wall and landed on the table, and Bruce Lee kicked it away. Yeah, but it sustained some damage. I'll get him fixed. Yeah, looking good, looking good. So I got my two Arrma Limitlesses, one open wheel and one GT. So yeah, I'm still keeping busy even though I haven't been doing my videos, but yeah, as you can see, I'm back at it. And I'm about to bring you guys some, you know, more content, more runs. Summertime's coming here in the UK because there's bad weather and cold and everything. You can't run foams, you can't even go out testing. I don't really want to test on GRPs and have to keep changing ride heights. I want to run foams, so I'm going to stay on foams, so I can only test when it's dry. Can't test on a damp road, it's got to be dry. And not freezing cold, so right now it's probably like 5 or 6. It's been -1, -2 most nights for the last week and stuff like that, and it's always raining or freezing in the mornings, and because it's so cold the roads don't dry, they're just greasy all day. Great for bashing and having fun. You don't wear your tires down because the wheels just spin. But I want to test, you know, I want to do serious testing, so yeah, I'm going to be patient. Patience is a virtue, guys. You've got to be patient. These are things you just don't rush, not when you're spending like £2,000, £3,000 building cars, you know what I mean? Patience. I mean, looking at probably like £4,000 or £5,000 worth of cars just in 2 cars. I mean, this, I've spent easily 2,000, 2,500 in the amount of different motors and parts I've put through this car. This one, I've just brought everything top notch, everything the best, everything that I know works the best. I've just brought the best of the best, and I've put it into this now, into my final like Arrma build. You know, I'm not saying, well, I say final speed run build. I may do some more if Arrma brings out anything different, but for now I don't see anything else. I've got my Typhon open wheel, my first one. I've got my Limitless now, open wheel. Open wheel's hard, as you know. GT's a bit easier, so I kind of kept away from GT until I could really understand how these cars work, and you know, try to get up the speeds 140, and I hit a blocker, couldn't go any higher all day. Rest of that day I couldn't go higher. I went back again, tried some different things, still was blocked at 140. Just kept getting 140, 141, 141, 140. I'd done about 8 runs, so I'm more than happy to know that what's possibly going to slow me down after everything I'd done for me was the drivetrain. I shimmed the diffs, done my drivetrain, and yeah, so hopefully now the drivetrain and new motor mounts and stuff, bearings all cleaned again and everything, car cleaned and put back together. I'm hoping to push this over 150 open wheel, close to the 160 if I can get anywhere there, and with this one over 150 for sure. I want to get somewhere like 160s, 170s, 180s, but obviously I don't know what body I'll run with it yet. I'll have a run with this body, and then I'll have a run with my other body from Delta Plastics. But yes, let's not drag this video on. Just wanted to give you guys a little look at both of them with the bodies on. Obviously they're not buttoned down or anything, they're just sitting on the cars, but just to give you guys a little look at how they're looking. MG, my initials. Mark G, for those of you who know. If you're following me on Facebook, I'm on Facebook, or I'm on Instagram. I do have a couple of pictures of my cars on my Instagram profile, and my Facebook, I've got a Birmingham GTRC page attached to it, so if any guys want to drop me messages on Messenger or my Instagram on my normal account, you can get me there too. I do follow some of you guys on my on both my accounts, on my work account or my private account, because I don't really use Facebook much, and I don't use my old Instagram much. I've got too many social media profiles for work and stuff, so I'm mostly on my work profiles. But anyway, let's leave you guys to carry on your day. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, play safe, keep it real.
I ain't relying on no